A family survives the most dangerous tsunami ever, an 85-meter tidal wave caused by an avalanche. Before moving to Stavanger with his family, geologist Kristian Eikjord is working his last day in Geiranger, a popular tourist site in Norway, when sensors on the mountain suggest groundwater has vanished. Later, while he and his kids wait for the ferry while his wife Idun works at the hotel for a few more days, Kristian has a lightbulb moment and dashes back to the geological center, leaving Sondre and Julia in the car. Harry and Jacob discover that the sensor cables have broken as a result of the mountain's movements. Arvid, Kristian's old supervisor, consents to raise the alert level but decides against sounding the evacuation warning because it is mid-tourist season. The kids have checked into the hotel, according to Kristian. Kristian drives with Julia to spend one final night at their home since she wants to say her goodbyes to it. Sondre skateboards while wearing headphones in the hotel's basement. Instrument readings are examined by Arvid and Jacob and found to be accurate and free of errors. The readings of contractions in the mountain do, according to Kristian's analysis of old documents, imply an impending avalanche. Arvid and Jacob are to be immediately rescued from the crevice, and he calls the station to raise the tsunami warning for the people of Geiranger. A little while later, there is an avalanche. When Jacob's foot becomes stuck, Arvid gives himself as a sacrifice, connecting Jacob to their zipline and dying shortly after plummeting to his death. For those of you who aren't familiar with the term, tsunami, Idun and her co-worker Vibeke evacuate the hotel guests onto a bus with 10 minutes left before the tsunami strikes Geiranger, but Sondre is nowhere to be seen. Idun won't leave him alone. Maria and Philip Paulsen, two Danish visitors, aid in her hunt. While sitting in traffic, Kristian and Julia become aware that their altitude is dangerously low. They leave their car and screech for others to follow them as they sprint upward on foot. Their next-door neighbor Anna has a car-trapped leg. While he and Anna are in the van, Kristian sends Julia up the mountain with Teresa's father Thomas and Anna's husband Thomas. The car is swallowed by the wave. When the tsunami strikes as they race back downstairs to the bomb shelter in the basement, Idun finds Sondre, but it is too late for them to escape. Maria is carried away by the flood, and Idun and Sondre slam the door of the shelter shut. Anna is found next to Kristian dead and impaled by debris, but Kristian lives. After finding Julia still alive, he leaves her in the care of Thomas and Teresa and returns to Geiranger to look for his wife and son. The town has been completely destroyed, and the bus used for escape was destroyed as well. Vibeke was among the dead, but Idun and Sondre were not. The water level rises down in the bomb bunker, warping the door that is obstructed by large debris. Philip pushes Sondre underneath as he struggles for air. To save Sondre, Idun drowns him. Kristian frantically smashes on some pipes after discovering his son's backpack. Idun and Sondre return the favor. More water floods the sanctuary as Kristian locates them and dives. He rejoins Idun after clearing the rubble, but as he follows with Sondre, he runs out of air. Idun turns around in an effort to save him, but eventually concedes that he has perished. Sondre makes one final effort that is successful. The family is reunited at Arnsvingen, and the movie ends by stating that although the events are likely to take place in the future, the exact time is uncertain. Kristian returns to his son, calms him, and tells him to go by breathing air into his mouth. Sondre keeps swimming until she reaches the staircase. When Kristian tries to swim, he encounters the same problem, he runs out of air and begins to drown. Sondre meets with his mother and informs her that Kristian is still underwater. She goes back down and grabs her husband, yanking him out. Idun begins CPR and becomes increasingly agitated as it appears to have no effect. She comes to a halt after a few minutes, believing her husband is dead. Sondre, on the other hand, refuses to accept it and continues to scream at his father to wake up. Kristian finally spits up water and awakens, embracing his family. Back on the hill, Julia and Tessa comfort her by playing with her bunny. A helicopter with a survivor arrives. Julia is heartbroken because she believes her family is no longer alive. As the helicopter departs, we notice Kristian, Sondre, and Idun walking up the hill. Julia runs up to her mother, who takes Julia in her arms.